Welcome to my channel. I'm Dani Walker. I hope that you're going to consider subscribing and hitting that notifications bell to check out more episodes like this. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what not to say in your personal introduction. This episode is brought to you by Rehearsed to Relatable. It's where pageant contestants can go to learn how to stand out in the interview room. If you want to learn more about that, just click the description below. If you're brand new to my channel and don't know me yet, I am a former Miss Montana USA and currently I work as a pageant coach, so I have lots of tips to share with you. I create winning personal introductions for clients every single year, and there are certain things that I include and then other things that I exclude on purpose in winning personal introductions. And I'm going to talk specifically today about what we're going to leave out of our personal introduction. Few pageant systems ask contestants to include their age in their personal introduction. If your pageant does not require you to say your age, I would not say your age in your personal introduction unless for some reason you believe it's extremely important for the judges to be aware of your age, but most of the time it's not. So I would leave that age out just because it takes up precious moments of your personal introduction. If you're brand new to pageants and you aren't familiar with personal introductions, most pageant systems will actually keep your personal introduction under a time limit. If you exceed the time limit, then you can lose points, and we don't ever want to lose points that way. We want to set ourselves up for success, so we want to make the most of the time that we are given. Typically, personal introductions are between 20 seconds to 1 minute, depending on the pageant system and the level of competition. I never include generic hobbies in a personal introduction when I write one for a client. Oftentimes we hear things like, in my free time, I enjoy singing, dancing, and modeling. Well, you may enjoy those things, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying those things. By sharing them in a list like that, it doesn't make you especially unique to the judges because so many other contestants probably also enjoy and participate in singing, dancing, and modeling. So when you're gonna share about your hobbies or your activities, make sure that they are very specific to you. An example of being more specific would sound like this. Instead of saying that you like dancing, you could say that you are a point dancer in ballet. If you love pageant tips like this, comment crown down below. And if you have other questions or video requests, leave those in the comments down below. Don't say a joke unless you know how to deliver it and you know that it's going to be funny. I see so many jokes flop on the pageant stage and it always makes me cringe. It always makes me feel terrible for those contestants. So if you're thinking about using a joke, you may want to test it out on a fresh audience or a group of friends before you use it at a pageant. Quotes are very popular to put into personal introductions, and they can work very well when they make sense. But a lot of contestants will add a quote into their introduction and it doesn't make sense and it doesn't tie into anything else important that we need to know about the contestant. So make sure that if you do decide to use a quote, that you're using one with intention and purpose. Be really careful with the information that you disclose in a personal introduction. Remember, your personal introduction is one of the first times that a judge is getting to know you and meet you and learn about you. This is kind of like what we can think of when somebody goes on a first date. When you go on a first date, you don't want to share everything with the person that you're going on a date with. That could scare them away. And in the same way, we can scare away the judges or give them some reasons to be concerned about us. For example, one time I heard a contestant share that her grandmother passed away last week in her introduction, and there was no real point to sharing that with the audience and with the judges. It really put a very strange feeling into the room when she said that. I personally felt very uncomfortable when she shared that, and I can only imagine that the judges probably felt the same. And spoiler alert, she did not win the pageant. So just be very careful with the amount of information that you are disclosing. My advice is always to keep your personal introductions positive, light, and upbeat. Those are my tips for what not to include in your personal introduction. If you want to hear more pageant prep tips, then you can check out my pageant prep playlist. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, that you learned lots more about how to prepare for your next competition, and I wish you the best of luck.